Hi, this is Scott Bahr from Cairn Consulting Group. I'd like to take a moment and talk about off-season camping. What we're going to look at in a bit more detail is how that off-season camper and that winter camper have impacted the industry. What we've seen recently is that there's been some leveling off in participation, and as the year proceeds, we're anticipating more leveling, if not a drop off in some sectors. So, what I'd like to talk about here briefly is how we're seeing that off-season participation and how it panned out this past year. So, as you can see on this graphic, that compared to 2022, another approximately 1.3 million households went winter camping this year. That's a lot of participants. That's a lot of people who want to have that kind of experience, and we've seen that desire for new experiences, and this builds on that. I think in the summer season, by the way, we're going to see that even more. But this past year, we saw it. In this, when I talk about winter camping, I'm not talking about snowbirding. I'm not talking about going to Florida or Arizona. This is people in the northern climates going out in the cold weather months and camping or RVing. So it's a substantial growth sector. And similarly, when we look at that off season in general, the off season months, what we're seeing again is that for the last 2 years, we have over 6 million additional households that we added into those seasons. So again, even with some leveling, what we're starting to see is that people are looking for alternatives, different ways to experience the outdoors. The winter experience is definitely different, but even in those shoulder seasons, that we're starting to see some propping up of the industry by participation in those timeframes. So, overall, that is it was something that I think bodes well for the industry. But on the other hand, the industry is going to need to plan for this. I don't think that everyone is fully prepared to accept all these winter campers. The barriers are, gear, of course, but even in RV, we know that about 30% of the RVers who don't winter camp say that their RV is not able to go into the cold temperatures and keep them comfortable. So what you have is a desire even for people to have those experiences, but they need the gear. And if you're not an RVer and you're a tent camper, you obviously know that you need good gear. You need good sleeping bags. And a lot of those can be fairly expensive, but it's something that people are looking at doing even more. We see people wanting to go out, um, you know, take backcountry experiences. To even go snowmobiling or get on their skis or split boards and go into the backcountry and camp as well. So definitely a growth sector. Again, something that we feel is propping up the industry quite a bit. In terms of that overall participation, because again, with things leveling off and people saying that there is that leveling, yet we see new participants, and this is what's doing that. This is what's contributing to that. And just to touch briefly on this topic is the who is that person that's going out and camping in the off season or the winter, and it's that person again, as I noted up front, that person who's seeking novel and new experiences. That is the group that's going out there and doing this the most. Coincidentally, or not coincidentally, it is also the group who started camping in 2020, 2021. That's a very unique group of campers, and a group that we've been tracking and will continue to track. But they're the ones. They're going in the off season, they're going winter camping, and they're coming back as many thought they wouldn't. Thanks for listening.